Alrighty, let's talk about status. My buddy Tim Norman calls it status. Status. It sounds even cooler when he says it because he's British and Bahamian. Anyway, status. Years ago, when I first came to Australia, I got Vistaprint to make me a coffee cup. It said, "Your faith in God is measured by your confidence in you." It was a shortened quote of Neville Goddard's. The coffee cup that I have with me right now says almost the same thing. Neville said this a couple different ways. He said, man's faith is... I can't read it, it's dark. Man's faith is measured by his confidence. Man's faith in God, good Lord, is measured by his confidence in himself. See, I'm confident enough to keep going. I'm really not a fan of the word confident. I'm more curious. Curious to me seems to be the ultimate in confidence, but I digress. Because I want to know, how important are you in your day? On a scale from 1 to 10, by the way, if you had to make a list of 10 things that are important in your typical day, where would you fall in? At the Center of Manifesting Mastery course.com, we talk about the Pearl of Great Price. We actually explore it for a week. We just don't listen to the lecture a whole bunch. We share with your insights, we ask yours. And your insights into the Pearl are going to be different after doing like 40 days of Manifesting Mastery course.com. Because we've been exploring the one cause. You. And if you're not important in your day, if you're nothing more than a crisis solver, a manager, someone who proves they exist by having problems, cortisol, boom, in a not good way. So Marty sends me an email, and he doesn't get the peanut butter game. I love the peanut butter game. If you doubled your income and worked half the time, how would you buy peanut butter different? You'll notice it solves both sides of the coin, time and money. How would you buy peanut butter different if you doubled your income or worked half the time? How would you pay the internet bill? Because that's what I wrote back to him. I says, I just paid the internet bill. My internet is $120 a month. It's not that good. It's pretty good for Australia. It's 1980s technology America. It's a little better than that. But meanwhile, so I pay my money. See, I'd like to pay it by the year. That's what I used to do. It drove the accountant in Victoria nuts. So I just go, right, 120 times 12, done. Yeah, I don't want to see this again. See, if you double your income and work half the time, and double your income and work half the time again, that means you get to pay your bills a year in advance because you don't like clicking on buttons. Heaven forbid it be like the old days. In the old days, I remember you used to have to take the bill to the bank. My mom would give me exact change, right? I grew up poor, guys. Some people say you wouldn't understand. Yeah, I would. When I grew up, a food stamp was a piece of paper. It was embarrassing. When I grew up, you paid the bills, hopefully on time, maybe a day or two late, and Mom would say, hey, ask if they'll cut us a break, right? I should send me with the bill, asking if they'll cut me a break on the penalty. I don't hold that against my mom, but I'm just telling you, that's poor. And it gives me the opportunity for contrast, because I grew up to be an adult who, right, here are the bills, here are the incomes. Let's see how it works out. How close is it going to get this month? Thank God I got cheap chicken wings. How would you buy peanut butter or petrol differently if you doubled your income and worked half the time? See, I want you to take a typical event of your day where you feel impotent. I want you to take a typical event of your day where you don't feel potent. I want you to take a typical event of your day where you can feel not powerful but pleasurable. Because when I buy peanut butter or petrol, I don't drive 20 minutes out of the way to get the cheap stuff at a place I've never heard of. Yeah, it's Donald's gas station, Radio. It's 20 cents cheaper than everyone else. Right, let me fill my car up with that. Right, not a fan. Right, I'm on the way to the dog park. I see that I need petrol. I pull over, I put it in at the nearest, closest, easiest to get to first class petrol station. We call them servos here for some reason. Service stations, I guess. They don't really do anything. They don't really servo you. They just take your money. They should call them take-os. Anyway. So what's a typical event of your day that would be different? Something that you do now that you'll do then if you doubled your income and worked half the time and doubled your income and worked half the time again. Because if you just imagine freedom, you'll get that. Marty told me, he says, I got a job that gives me, literally time and location freedom. He can work from home. He can work from anywhere. But he's not making the money he wants. Cool, you got what you imagined. See, I want to include both sides of the coin. Because here's what I notice. Time and money. Those are the big ones. Time and money. What would you do different? How would you buy peanut butter differently if you were happily married? If we doubled our income, worked half the time? So that's one way to buy peanut butter differently. But some people, they're just married to someone miserable. See, I had a coaching call with someone like that. They had everything worked out but the relationship. And so, hey, I want to do a call. It's all right. You've done Triple D. You've done MM. I'll do a call with you. Send them an invoice. They schedule. This will be fun. They reschedule a couple times. Say, all right, listen, we're not fucking doing this. All right, I don't do this. You do not take up time on my schedule. Actually, they just rescheduled once. And they gave me plenty notice. But I don't do rescheduling all that well. Right? Not without plenty of notice. But meanwhile, right? But wait, someone's going to take that personal that shouldn't. Don't do that. And I say that and I share this because of this. When you make your day totally personalized, you'll stop taking everything personal. If you doubled your income and worked half the time, right? If I doubled my income, if I made twice the money, how would I buy peanut butter differently? How would I drink coffee differently? See, most people take everything personal because they don't show up in their lives. Not everyone's going to love you because you've got a great relationship. Some people, they want, you ever go to a family get-together? It's mostly people talking shit about their relationships. Right? I love hanging out at family get-togethers. I just listen between the lines. And then the ones that are happy show up. Oh, look at them, the happy couple. Right. We'll see how long that lasts. Rightio. So why would I mention all this? It's called status. You lead. You walk the dog. You don't hide from 3D reality. Hiding from 3D reality. Hiding from the shadow. That's what you do when you imagine up crap. People do hide from the shadows. And to hide from the shadows, you get to stay in the shadows. I want you to get on the center stage of your life. I want you to really experience a typical event of your day already having gone your way. I want you to notice how typical events of your day will be different once you double your income and work half the time, for example. Because here's the deal, I've got this iPad. I call it my $2,000 flashlight. It's an iPad Pro, cost about $2,000. And I use it as a torch. I use it as a flashlight when I come out here in the mornings, because it's dark now. I could carry a $2 flashlight, but I also use it as a podcast machine, a video thing, a work computer. I use it for about $20,000 worth of stuff. And here's what's cool. When you start looking at money differently, you start experiencing money differently. My buddy says inflation's going to come. It's going to go like 10% a year. And I says, well, okay. I said, that $200 phone in your pocket, you can do like $20,000 worth of things on it. Just go back 20 years. For you to get a video camera, a portrait camera, for you to have the computing power that's on your phone, for you to be able to do video calls, you couldn't do those 20 years ago. And I go through a list of things that his little phone can do. GPS. 20 years ago, what did a GPS cost? $500? Did they even exist then? I don't even remember. All I know is when they came out at first, they were not all that accurate and they were very expensive. But the things you can do on your $200 phone, oh my God. See, that's how I look at money. People talk about inflation's going to kill us. The price of gas has gone up 20%. Oh, imagine up a life where that doesn't matter. Could include working from home, could include doubling your income and working half the time, half as many days, not just half as many days out of the house, but half as many days. See, I want you to get beyond the rational because the rational always gets in the way. So here's the thing, ready? It's rational not to spend money. It's rational to have more month than money. Or is it the other way around? It's rational to save what you can. It's rational to get out of debt, rightio. Neville says always be investing. He doesn't say always do what's rational. The rational mind is always the interference, is only the interference. I know people that rationalize away every single one of their wins, and then they come up with all kind of excuses why this don't work. Meanwhile, if you double the amount of time that you celebrated each win, if you double the amount of celebrations you have for each win, what do you think would happen to your typical win? Would be remembered. And we could toss it up at you when you say, I've been doing this for 4 years, Mr. 20, and it don't work. He says, well, I've got 5 emails from you saying it does. What about the times you didn't email me? Because you're going to focus on something or focus from something. Most people focus on not having it, focus on it someday. Or they experience what it's like to do a typical event of your day differently because your wish is fulfilled. So let me know, what would you do? How would you buy peanut butter or petrol or a Peugeot differently if you doubled your income and worked half the time? Again, make it a typical event of your day. Let me know. My name is Mr. 2020. Thank you for listening. If you got gold, easymanifestingmethods.com. That's the little gift course. 7 little days of goodies. Go get them. Make sure you, when you sign up, and you got to sign up, right? We don't just magically poof them into your brain. You're going to get a confirmation email. You've got to click the link in that. Some people, they tell me, I don't click links in emails. I says, how's that working for you? Right? It's the law, pal. If you want to get daily emails from me, if you want to get the free videos, you got to click a link. Right? Anyway, I only click from people that I trust. Rightio. If you don't trust me, you're not going to listen to me anyway, so skip it. easymanifestingmethods.com. Drag that link to your inbox if you find it anyplace else other than that, like promotions or spam. Click the confirmation link and we'll send you the goodies. Next, manifestingmasterycourse.com. That's the backbone. It will not make sense. It will stretch you. If you're looking for a course that makes sense, if you're looking for a teacher that just makes sense, that's not me. If you're looking for someone that will stretch you, that will invite you to new experiences, that will help you experience the experiences that change your experiences, that's me. We've talked about this before a couple episodes back. Go listen to a few more. But first, join us in manifestingmasterycourse.com. It's the 90-day course. It's $97. What are you missing out on by not doing it? Well, if you don't do it, you're probably missing out on time. Spending a lot of time on Reddit, YouTube, getting confused. But Mr. 20, this teacher says nobody really exists but me, and you say that I exist. Who should I believe? I said, fucking don't believe me. Apparently I don't exist. Rightio. There's some weird people out there. And there's some real people, too. Anyway, manifestingmasterycourse.com. And for the sharers, those who share their shows, those who share their lives with us, thanks for sharing. We appreciate somebody shared this and you got gold. Go share. See ya.